Fireball Run, a life-size trivia game. This is the story of a legendary competition across America in search of obscure historic artifacts, underdiscovered places, and extraordinary experiences. What you're about to watch is real. The competition is filmed in real time over 8 days and traverses 2,000 miles of America. Previously in the Fireball Run. America's Eiffel Tower.
I've been to the real Eiffel Tower, but this one's cool.
The entire 1,200 population came out in Gregory, South Dakota. The tiny town also played a major role in entertainment history.
In our generation, people will say, who are the black filmmakers? These people would not be where they are if it wasn't for pioneers like this gentleman right here.
Finally, Fireballers headed for the hills to visit the state's oldest drive-in.
I'm gonna hang on to that money and take it right back before you get it in your pocket, Slim. You're gonna have to hurry.
Yeah. We're 5 episodes from the finish, so here's the next Fireball Run.
Oh, David Prescott's calling. Hi, David.
We are just now leaving Hilltop.
Go back to the main road and take a right.
When you see the Sinclair gas station,
The dinosaur in the front's one of the bonuses.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you.
Now, we decided not to do any bonuses this season just because this vehicle takes so long to get to missions already. I want to get the experiences of doing these experiences. Because they're, you know, we joke about it, but and we say it tongue in cheek, but yeah, they're epic.
It's that right there.
That dinosaur right there.
onward!
3, 2, 1. Okay. I don't know exactly if this is a bonus or not, but I just think they're cool.
So, I had to go climb a dinosaur and ride him. In the meantime, big, brave, non-dinosaur rider forgot to lift the thing and kept waiting for it to
Told
pump.
me to lift the handle.
And he didn't lift it.
this handle.
We seem to have problems with a gas pump.
Dude, are you speeding up?
No, man, it's nothing to worry about. It's nothing.
Dude, how fast are you going?
Oh, we're not going very fast. Not very fast at all.
Dude, you're going 100 miles an hour. Slow it down. Slow it down, Chad.
What?
Dude, they can tell how fast you were going.
I don't think it's
They'll deduct 15 points from us, Chad.
Got your license, Andy? You know why I got you stopped?
I don't know.
Going too fast.
I was going too fast? Okay. I hadn't
Speed
seen
limit
what the
65.
speed limit was yet.
Come on back and have a seat, okay?
But we didn't see a speed limit yet at this point. So it probably would have happened to me too if I were driving. So we're just kind of hanging out here on the side of the road while Nicole sits with the cop and figures out what the punishment will be.
You look familiar.
You been to Salt Lake?
1985?
Oh.
What'd you do in 85?
So in 85, this is what I did. I was that thing.
Oh! That's where I've seen you before.
I have a warning, and when I get to the highway, don't go a mile over 80. Because they're real serious about speed in South Dakota.
Scotty Phillips, the man who actually rescued the buffalo population.
Stuff like this kind of touches my heart for a big reason. There's one person who decided to step in and change history. We were about to lose an American icon, or just an icon among mankind, and that being the buffalo or bison. And this one person stepped in, and we now have 200,000 of them.
Log Cabin Visitor Center.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah.
Leaving their legal troubles behind, a few finally arrived to Pierre, South Dakota.
How were they?
Oh, they left way before us. We gotta go touch a buffalo coat.
Across the river from Pierre.
We're looking for a log cabin.
Oh, it's around the corner, guys.
Do you have the coat?
Yeah.
Hi, Molly Holland, number 50.
Okay, you're early.
We got it first try. We're number 1 and we got it first try.
You have probably heard of Buffalo Bill, but have you ever heard of Buffalo Scotty? While one was saving the Wild West, the latter was busy saving a wild beast. In the late 1800s, when hunting had driven bison population to perilously low numbers, Scotty Phillip built a refuge and led a drive over 100 miles to successfully herd the buffalo. By the time he died just 10 years later, the herd had grown to thousands, earning him the title of the man who saved the buffalo. In addition to being one of the Great Plains' most majestic beasts, the buffalo provided warmth in what could be frigid conditions of the area. I'm Sunny, Information Officer at the Log Cabin Visitor Center. You may not know the story of Scotty Phillips, but if you've seen a buffalo in the last 100 years, you know his work. Today, Fireballers will visit us at our replica log cabin headquarters, built in 1976 on the site of the old Stanley County Courthouse. Originally, the log cabin housed the South Dakota Hall of Fame. Today, this site is an enhanced visitor center with several displays and pioneer artifacts. Also on property, we have an early 1900s schoolhouse and the town of Fort Pierre's original jail. When the teams arrive, they'll have a unique opportunity to physically experience a robe once belonging to the man who saved the buffalo, Scotty Phillip.
Hi there.
Hi, Sunny. I'm Kelly. How are you?
Kelly.
Very nice to meet you. What is this gorgeous?
This is Scotty Phillip's wife's coat that he gave her, and he married this woman here, Sarah Larrabee. And because of her, he was able to acquire all this land to run his buffalo on.
Why because of her?
Because it was Indian land.
And she was Native
And she was
American.
native.
There was down to only 100 buffalo,
Well,
right?
less than that. There were just a few buffalo calves.
So here we are in Fort Pierre, South Dakota at the museum, and in front of us is an over 150-year-old buffalo coat.
It's over 120 years old.
Scotty gave it to his wife, and he was a gentleman who had saved the buffalo.
That thing is no joke.
We're definitely not going to hurt it.
Holy cow, you aren't kidding.
I mean, it's like
It's very heavy.
That's crazy.
it's
That's
like
awesome.
body armor for a bison.
Yep.
Well, this is amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good trip.
What a great piece of history you shared with us.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Where are you headed
The
to?
dam?
Do you know how to get there?
I don't know GPS.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't mess it up.
Fireballers, thank you for roaming into Log Cabin Visitor Center in Fort Pierce, South Dakota. Farewell, and as we say in Buffalo Country, bison. I'm just kidding, we don't say that.
So that was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
We're in the Fort Pierre, South Dakota Historical Museum, and we got to feel an original buffalo coat. You can understand why they killed off so many buffalo, because the coat is incredible, and of course it gets extremely cold up here, especially out in the prairie.
Yeah.
So let's head off to our next mission.
We're 16 minutes from the entrance to the tunnel.
What's our cutoff time?
Oh, we got time.
So what I did, because we're going to lose Wi-Fi, is I downloaded all of the maps that we're going to need today in South Dakota on my iPad, and then we went and we bought one of these things. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. This is called an atlas, and if you don't know what an atlas is, you can go look it up in an encyclopedia.
We got to be planning our fuel stops out because, yeah, they can become a little few and far between.
We're going to stop in, even if it's only a quarter of a tank we need, and get filled up so we can keep fuel in the vehicle.
Welcome to the Verendrye Museum. I'm Deb Schuffelbein, one of the board members. If the teams locate our little museum, they'll get to put their hands on a rare, iconic cooker from America's pioneer era. Before there was Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, there were Lewis and Chevalier Verendrye. The brothers Verendrye were French fur traders and explorers, believed to be the first Europeans to reach Wyoming's Rocky Mountains by way of the northern Great Plains. The Verendrye Museum, named for the French explorers, was established in 1968. Today it houses numerous local and regional historic artifacts. In the museum, named for siblings, one of the centerpieces is a stove named for Sibley. The Sibley stove is the brainchild of a former Confederate commander in the Civil War, Henry Hopkins Sibley. It was comprised of sheet iron, and its distinctive cone shape complemented another Sibley invention, the Sibley tent. The design of the Sibley stove was so effective that tens of thousands of units were constructed, and it was employed from the Civil War right into the early years of World War II. This particular Sibley stove dates back to 1857. General Sibley's army passed through this region not long thereafter in the area where this Sibley stove was discovered. The stove is 30 inches tall with an 18-inch base and weighs about 30 pounds.
We are in the Veranday Museum. We're about to go in here and put our hands on a...
Put your cold hand on this original camp stove.
Okay.
Oh.
Too many cameras here.
Absolute pleasure.
Pretty exciting
Thank
stuff.
you. Good luck.
Thank you again.
Yes.
Have a
Pick
good day.
Good day.
Yep.
Oh, it's incredible. I expected it to be bigger than what it is, but when we researched it, it was made for military camps, so I'm not surprised that it was so small.
And like she said, it's easy to pick up and carry with them with their gear and the tent and everything else they were packing.
Thank you for testing your mettle with a visit to the Veranday Museum. I hope you're heating up the competition.
Jackie, I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Which time are you saying you're sorry for?
Sorry I yelled at you today and yesterday. I'm sorry.
Does that mean you're going to yell at me like later? So you're saying sorry for those times because you know you're going to yell at me again?
Possibly, but I apologize. I feel bad.
And I'm sorry as well.
When Robin showed me the paper, it led me to believe that it was an hour today for some reason.
Oh no, here's Sparky.
You showed me the paper, you said it's 1 hour.
Not the lunch window. We had 30 minutes for the lunch.
Well, you made me believe it was an hour.
I would not steer my team wrong because I wouldn't want you guys to steer me wrong.
Chad's already got it dialed into the destination. We're heading to a rodeo museum. His last name was Tibbs, pretty famous guy. He's involved in rodeo. Chad, being the stud that he is, he bought some of his work hats, and he bought his cowboy hat. And it just so happens that if he gets his picture taken with his cowboy hat in these, we get extra 5 points because Chad came prepared.
Hold on to your hats. We're off to a museum named in honor of a rodeo legend.
When you're from a state that has more cows than it does citizens, it's not hard to imagine a rodeo legend emerging from its ranks.
With the flash of a silver spur and a streak of patented purple, this cowboy turned 8 seconds on a bucking bronco into high art. And that's why this next location bears his name.
Welcome to the Casey Tibbs Rodeo Center and Museum. I'm Cindy Bahi, the director. This facility, which was created in 2009, sits high on the Missouri River bluffs, just across from our state capitol.
Though it's named for Tibbs, this museum showcases world champion videos, bronze statues, kids' dress-up area, and virtual bronc, as well as rodeo buckles, boots, saddles, chaps, and so much more. We grow 'em tough here, and the museum features a total of 19 South Dakota world champions. As a boy, Casey's father warned him not to return home if he rode in a rodeo, so at age 13, he rode anyway and ended up on his own. He broke horses and did odd ranch jobs to provide for himself. Casey proved to be a natural cowboy, and at 19 years old, he became the sport's youngest world champion, a title he still holds 7 decades later.
Of the thousands of rodeo artifacts housed here, several of Casey Tibbs' items stand out.
Typically handled infrequently by select museum staff, the fireballers will have the rare chance to interact with these priceless pieces of performance history.
These are the boots that Casey wore.
These boys here from Pyre, and I thought everybody knew me. I thought for sure we'd win it. But I'll tell you what, you guys got some good boys right here. We're in their hometown. It's awfully beautiful so far. Looking forward to the rest of the day. Now we're going to go and see Mr. Tibbs. Looking forward to all of it.
I heard you guys had a little visit on the side of the road.
Did you? Just a little bit.
Yeah. There's pictures going on.
Mr. Tibbs' boots. The boots. Chad, this is your time. You're the cowboy, so this is your day to shine.
And he was from Fort Pierce, South Dakota, and the only person ever to win 9 world champions.
Woo!
So, record still stands.
What size shoe did he wear?
Pretty small.
You can't wear it, Chad.
That is an itty bitty foot.
A 1955 world champion buckle awarded to Casey.
This 1955 World Champion buckle awarded to Tibbs is always in a locked case, except for this rare moment. Casey's phrase, "Don't leave home for a second," rang true when he won this all-around World Champion buckle, one of 2 earned by Tibbs, and one of 9 total World Championships earned during his career.
Actual buckle. Nobody ever gets to see this. Wow. Up close, Rodeo Cowboys Association champion.
That's just one of them.
9 world championships.
Probably nobody ever will beat that one. You never say never, but
Yeah, never say never. This movie script from the film The Wild Breed.
This script from producer Casey Tibbs is one of his several forays into the film industry. Casey acted, performed stunts, and also served as technical advisor to none other than the Duke, John Wayne.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
And he broke 46 bones in his body during his career, so imagine walking around like that.
So he did saddle bronc, bareback, and bulls.
The 3
He wasn't-
most
wasn't
difficult,
real
or
he
the
didn't
3
love
hardest
riding bulls, but
events
he
on
had
your
to-
body.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Fireball Run. Thanks for hoofing it up to the Casey Tibbs Rodeo Center and Museum in Fort Pierce, South Dakota.
We just got done at the Casey Tibbs South Dakota Rodeo Center, and we're on to our 3rd mission of the day, called That Dog Will Hunt. And I believe what we're gonna do is go get to see how some real professional bird dogs hunts and things. So I think we got our destination. Let's go.
So what are we doing at this dam?
A 9-year-old little girl. She was in 4th grade, and it was part of her assignment. She invited the president to see the superstructure her dad had built, and the rest is history.
When I was 9 years old, I was a 4th grader at Lincoln School. We had a writing assignment. I decided to write a letter to President Kennedy. I wanted to invite him to come to the dedication of the Oahe Dam that summer. And the president said that he would like to meet me and said that he wanted to meet my whole family.
On a whirlwind tour through the West, President Kennedy stops first at Pierre, South Dakota, where he's to take part in a river project dedication.
On Wednesday, August 15, at about 9 in the morning, there was a knock at our door, and it was 2 guys in suits. And they said, "Are you Jamie Damon?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "The President of the United States would like to meet you."
Then on to the business at hand, the dedication of the huge Oahe Reservoir Dam, the largest earth-rolled dam in the world. The project is a revolutionary means of flood control, conservation, and power generation.
We went out there the morning of August 17. The president gave his speech, and then he came down to the powerhouse. He walked over to me, he held out his hand, and he said hello, and I shook his hand, and I said, "Hello, Mr. President. I'm very glad that you accepted my invitation." And he shook my hand again, and he said, "Thank you for inviting me. I'm very glad I came."
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm Jamie Damon.
I'm Robin Wright.
Hi.
I was really amazed to find out that you wrote the letter in 4th grade as an assignment.
Yes.
And the president came.
It's you.
Your color.
It's my color.
Damon's dress right here that she wore when she was 9 years old, when she had the opportunity to meet President Kennedy. So it's pretty amazing. It's really impressive and pretty cool. So thank you for taking the time to come and meet us all. We really appreciate it. I mean, it's really neat. I mean, I've never met a president.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, well, we just got to touch a historical dress. That was a really cool thing to do. And now we're going to open our next clue, and we're going to travel around Pierre and figure out what's next for the rest of the afternoon. So it should be a really fun day.
Now for a look at the leaderboard. Versailles leads the character caravan with 1,670 points. Nick and Molly, the newlyweds, have 1,620 points. Beating into 1,550 points, it's the Miss Americas. 1,460 points for I-Team. 1,475 points for Team Impact. Burlington is off the bottom, but far from the top, with 1,395 points. And with just 1,230 points, the Red Ranger and Stuntman team. One down, and here we go. A damn good mission leads to a damn great time and a damn epic moment.
We are literally standing where water would come flying around this thing.
We go from rallying the highway to racing the waterway.
These motorsport activities, you know, this is where I'm going to get some points.
Then we ruffle a few feathers with our dogs.
All right, buddy, get that bird going. Come on.
Come on, find a bird.
Are they out here?
And you'll never guess who dominated the automatic weapon challenge. On the next Fireball Run.